It's super strong. It vibes really well. I I've been saying this about SoundCloud rappers for a long time now, and it's becoming more and more true, especially with this new project by Trippie Redd. I think that SoundCloud rappers are a missing link between mainstream rappers and mainstream hip hop, and hey guys, hey, it's your man Taj Ben John with Bars and Joysticks. I just want to spend some time talking to you about this new album that just came out that I really personally enjoy. I have My intuition tells me that I have some unpopular opinions, but I feel like I'm correct in my opinions. I'm talking about none other than the new Trippie Redd project. I'm gonna go on YouTube real quick, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm going to let me minimize my window, and then I'm gonna go see who's the bald guy? Not me, with the glasses and the needles that drop. Anthony Fantano. I'm gonna go to Anthony Fantano's YouTube channel. I'm gonna see. I see that he recently put on a review of it, so I'm gonna check it out, and then after that, I'm going to give my thoughts to it. I'm gonna see if me and him align and agree, or will we disagree. Let's go. All right. Needle drop Trippie Redd. There we go. Easy, easy. Oh, there's two. What's plug station? Is that like what is that? Is plug station one of Fantano's things? Never heard of plug station before. Hmm. All right. All right. Let's take a look. Let's take a look shit here. Not Pegasus. It is Trip at Night, dude. Before you hear anything from Anthony Fantano or any other source, if you're listening to me for the first time and you're listening to about thoughts of Trippie Redd for the first time, I think this album was spectacular. I give it a strong 8 out of 10. Most of the songs are pretty tight, pretty fucking tight. There's like one or two, maybe three. I think that the ending of the album, like there's like two tracks towards the end that weren't very hot that kind of dinged it down a little bit. Actually, with that rating, I feel like maybe an 8's not fair. Maybe it should be like an 8.4, 8.5. It's super strong. It vibes really well. I I've been saying this about SoundCloud rappers for a long time now, and it's becoming more and more true, especially with this new project by Trippie Redd. I think that SoundCloud rappers are a missing link between mainstream rappers and mainstream hip hop and nerdcore hip hop. And I think Trippie Redd's Trip at Night is the perfect example of it. There's it all sounds like it's like a bunch of video game samples. It sounds like a lot of his lyrical content is based off of nerdy things like Dragon Ball Z, based off of WWE like wrestling the track Matt Hardy 999. Um, there's like different nerdcore related references. Like this was like 2012, and that was about when I discovered nerdcore, around 2011, 2012. If this was 2012, you go to 2012 me, and then you sit me down, play this album by Trippie Redd, I would say this is a nerdcore album, and I'd fucking enjoy it. I wouldn't get all the references because some of those are after 2012, but for the most part, I'd enjoy it, and I'd be like, dang, this rides. And I feel like a lot of critics of this album don't have that opinion because they just don't respect or know what nerdcore rap is. Just so you guys understand what nerdcore hip hop is. Nerdcore hip hop. Let's just look at the definition. Yeah, let's go to Wikipedia. All right, nerdcore is a genre of hip hop music characterized by themes and subject matter considered to be of general interest to nerds and geeks. Just like Trip at Night. Self-described nerdcore musician MC Frontalot has the earliest known recorded use of the term to describe this genre in the 2000 song Nerdcore Hip Hop. I don't like MC Frontalot that much. My favorite nerdcore rapper is definitely Mega Ran. I didn't know it was 2000. I didn't know it was 21 years old. Jeez Louise. Frontalot, like most nerdcore artists, self-publishes his work and has released much of it free online. As a niche genre, or niche? As a niche genre, nerdcore generally holds to the DIY ethic and has a history of self-publishing and self-production. Yep. So it talks about Though nerdcore rappers rhyme about anything from politics to science fiction, there are some perennial favorites in nerdcore subject matter, including Star Wars, internet pornography. I've never heard a nerdcore internet pornography song. Role-playing games, science, fantasy, and computers. Yeah, yeah. I think mainstream hip hop is getting closer and closer to nerdcore, and I like it. I fucking digs it. If you're on a channel called Bars and Joysticks, then I think you too would also like nerdcore hip hop. But let's exit this and go straight to this Fantano review. In the Square ad, they're not paying me, so shut up, shut up, shut up.
Hi everyone, Tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. And it's time for a review of the new Trippie
Alright, stop.
Red album, Trip at Night. This is a brand new LP from singer, rapper, and Ohio native Trippie Redd.
Alright, I don't want to get DMCA'd. Will he do that with me? I don't know if he'll do that. Playback speed.
Fourth studio album, which arrives after a pretty prolific string of projects, tape after tape after album after deluxe edition. If there's one thing about Trippie Redd, it's that he's
I might stop this quite a bit. I don't know where it's gonna go. Let me put on some glasses. I want to match the Fantano aesthetic. Actually, no, I'm taking this off. No, on stream. No, I'm not doing that.
Barely taken a breath since his early tapes started popping off. So it's been a lot of music, yeah, but somehow it still felt very much like we've been going through a drought creatively with Trippie. At least for me, because I think his 2018 record, Life's a Trip, is a high point he has struggled to reach since. No other studio album in Trippie's catalog has held a candle to the sharp, expressively vocals, the colorful production, as well as the creative emo and hip-hop fusion.
If there's ever going to be someone that would bridge the gap between nerdcore hip-hop and mainstream hip-hop, it would be Trippie Redd. He's a vocal genius, and his beats go hard. Alright, his last album was like kind of, it's very rock-centered, rock-oriented. A lot different than his debut projects. But, you know, this one brought it back to speed on what his normal sounds are like. And I digs it a lot. He's a good guy. Good artist.
And I think that's because Trippie is constantly getting kneecapped by a lack of focus or solid ideas. There was the profoundly underwritten exclamation point record, and that was just like a total wash. Then there
wasn't bad. Exclamation point wasn't bad.
And unforgiving Pegasus that just did not know.
Alright, Pegasus wasn't. Is that? Huh. I thought he was chubbier than that. Pegasus wasn't bad. That's a cool cover though.
When to stop. And then of course we got a deluxe edition which added on another album essentially.
Bro, that was sick. The shark aesthetic. This guy knows how to choose his aesthetics. Trippie Redd, king of aesthetics, king of the Iron Aesthetics Tournament. Actually, let me just put back in there so everyone can see the video
of like pop punk tunes with Travis Barker on production, which did have its moments but was also like a mess of sorts. All I want is a record.
Bro, I just realized that me and Anthony Fantano both have our sleeves rolled up. He did it better. That's a much cleaner roll right there, but I did it too. So I just want you guys to know.
From Trippie that like plays to the dude's strengths and feels like some actual effort is being put into it. Now, at first, at least, a Trip at Night seemed like that project, and to the point, which might just be for the best. A lot of the production is pretty straightforward too, very synth-centric and.
Yeah, that's nerdcore as fuck, man. Yeah, what did I say by as well? Nerdcore as of. Trying to make it clean for the kids, I guess. Yeah, a lot of nerdcore songs have a fuck ton of synths, an ton of synth.
Rough around the edges. Think like old school SoundCloud bangers, but with a kind of hypnotic, repetitive, very digital Playboi Carti-esque sound. The synth leads on tracks like.
The difference between Playboi Carti and Trippie Redd, though, Playboi Carti will never fully embrace the nerdcore stuff. Like, he's not enough of a nerd. He'll be talking about like cars and stuff. And I know Trippie talks about cars and stuff, but Trippie will also like incorporate like things from comics and things from anime and things from like nerdy TV shows and video games and shit. The way that Playboi Carti never has so far.
MP5
nor Pierreborn
or Finish Line make me feel like I'm listening to a trap flip on some of the themes to like some early Sega Genesis Sonic games. But even with this moderately higher level of consistency across the project, the listening experience is still pretty spotty. There are moments on here where the features steal.
I would not say spotty.
Show in a big way. Be that with Drake starting drama with Kanye on the song Betrayal. I mean, looking at the title and the content of the song overall and where Trippy's focuses versus Drake's, it's pretty obvious that Drake is like, clearly the reason for that track existing and making it.
All right, but Betrayal's a good song. Like we have not spoken. We'll go to this later on, but we haven't spoken about Trippy's album rollout for this one, and it truly is spectacular. It rivals Arby's in how nerdy it is and how nerdily influenced it is, and I think that's a good thing. I think that's adds to the case of it being Trippy's first nerdcore. Trippy got nerdcore, or maybe it's the missing link.
Onto this record in the first place. There's also Ski Mask the Slump God, who goes so insane in his feature he essentially becomes the draw for the track too. Then there are spots here where the hooks are just not there and they really need to be. Holy Smokes with Lil Uzi Vert is an example. If any song on your record should be the catchiest, it's gotta be this one. But this cut has easily one of the clumsiest choruses on the entire project. The groove on the beat is really fragmented in an awkward way too. I would say,
yo, Holy Smokes rides. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Did he just criticize Betrayal and Demon Time off of Trip at Night because his features did really well? That's not a good criticism of an album.
It's the most well-formed song on the entire LP, but that has to go to the song New Money, which is so underwritten and so one note, it feels like a piece of filler thrown into the track.
All right, New Money wasn't that great. That was part of one of the songs, one of the few songs on the album that detracted from the quality of the album.
Track list. On top of that, you have a badly sung vocal lead and a badly sung vocal harmony underneath it. Sometimes on a song, Trippy really, and sometimes he's just doing nothing but missing from front to back, and this is just one of those tracks. Miss the Rage with Playboy Cardi.
Amazing. Mr. Rage was amazing. It's very gold, very gold. A hype song, man. It was good.
Moment in the track list only makes sense to have him on the record in some capacity. Unfortunately, Cardi and Trippy on the same track isn't exactly fireworks in this instance, especially since one note as well. I see some people complaining about the beats on this thing, that there's too many synths. It sounds like I'm listening to, I don't know, math or something.
Yeah, it's not. This is not a mainstream album. I mean, it is a mainstream album just because Trippy Red's so huge, working with artists like Drake and Juice WRLD and XXXTentacion. But this isn't simply a mainstream project. It's not like we're listening to Little Durk. This is not Polo G. This is not Big Sean. This is the missing link between nerdcore and mainstream. Let's not forget this, folks. Let's not forget it.
Some shit like that. And yeah, the synths do have like a very distinct character, and they do sound like a 16-bit video game or some shit like that. That much is true. I'm not going to deny that. I'm not going to ignore that critique. However, I do kind of like that aesthetic to an extent. But after like well over a dozen tracks of that, it gets pretty tiresome, especially since there are beats here that are so similar in tone and style that you could probably flip the lyrics from one song to the other and you wouldn't really notice too much.
Okay, that's not a big criticism. It means he's versatile on a beat. It means he's versatile. Come on, Fantani.
Change the vibe of the song all that much. So again, I think the direction of these beats overall is fine. There's just a little bit too.
And also, just to add to that, when you're working with a producer, sometimes the producer will change some of the beats once the vocals are put on, and that's completely fine. That's just part of the process of building a song. As Chance the Rapper once said, each song is a project.
Much of it. I like trap rhythms and I love synthesizers as well, but there's a lot more you can do with synths than just make them sound like this. So then there's the final leg on this LP, which is sort of a dead zone outside of the featured tracks.
Damn it.
Danny Phantom with XXXTentacion has...
Oh, too soon, man. Did you say dead zone because it was like XXXTentacion? Fucked up.
Not only one of the more standout choruses on the entire LP, but a surprisingly feel-good and upbeat performance from Hex as well. Then there's Rich Motherfucker with Polo G and the Lil Durk, which has one of the coldest choruses I've heard this year.
Rich Motherfucker was I don't know why he was attacking Danny Phantom. That was a good song.
Here, sharp vocal leads from Trippy, Head Bob.
People will critique that one in particular, just because not Rich Motherfucker, but Danny Phantom. Because that was kind of like a remix of like an older song from 2018, like literally right after XXXTentacion died was when that song came out. So it's kind of wild that he didn't know that. I thought Fantana would know that. Oh, wrong button.
Being beat, a very angry and impassioned performance from Polo G, and also this is like the exact kind of beat and vibe that you want to hear Lil Durk over. It's just all the stars aligning. Then Captain Crunch is kind of a posse cut of sorts. Doesn't exactly have a...
All right, Captain Crunch wasn't stellar. It wasn't amazing. I did like I Swear Vezo's part on it though. That was good.
Closer feel, but I do like the mean
Vizo? I think it's Vezo.
And grimy vibe. As far as other highlights are concerned on this project, you have Molly Hearts as well as MP5, which I think are strong kickoffs.
Molly Hearts is tight. MP5 is tight. Betrayal is tight. Demon Time's good. Danny Phantom's good. Matt Hardy's good. What other songs? Fucking really. Oh my gosh, Supercell. Supercell goes so hard. That's probably the hardest track on the album. I haven't heard him talk about it yet.
To the project and perfect examples of what the album is going for generally.
Supercell's really good. It's Dragon Ball themed. It's pretty tight.
Trippy just, made the smart choice to make sure that maybe his strongest songs in this style and in this vibe popped off first and kind of give you maybe a positive impression and energy going into the rest of the project. That's pretty hit or miss. Supernatural is another stylistic spin on that Cardi-inspired sound.
That's fine.
But it has a really sick beat switch in the second half I love too. Some really impressive vocal layering from Trippy in this.
It wasn't my favorite on the album. I'm surprised Fantano liked that more than songs like Supercell.
Passage of the track as well. When he sings well, he just nails it. Then there's Matt Hardy 999 with Juice WRLD, which is not only a treat because it's a posthumous feature, but
it is.
Him and Trippy actually have a really nice artistic rapport.
Yeah. I want to see what Fantano says about it though.
On this track, trading bars rather than just Juice WRLD.
I just want to say though, this is one of the last times we're gonna see Juice WRLD this interactive on a song. Maybe the last time that we'll ever hear this. Just because that was probably one of the last things he recorded, and like I felt like Trippy and Juice recorded this at the same time, probably somewhere close to when Juice WRLD was about to pass away. It really was a special treat. I didn't expect all that in Matt Hardy 999.
Taking up a section of the track on the back end, you could kind of tell that they were pushing each other to write or say the most preposterous shit that they could with like the toilet shit and the oral. I'm not even gonna get into it. It's weird as fuck, but still funny and considering like the energy they conjure together, the way they're bouncing off of each other. It is a supreme highlight. With that being said, though, ultimately, Trip at Night is a pretty mixed bag project.
No, it's not. It's pretty fucking good. Unless he means mixed bags and mixing mainstream and nerdcore hip hop. That is true. That is true if he means it like that. The bald man doth not lie. Wow. This bald man. And I guess that one too. Would he get offended if he saw me call him a bald? Like, I don't mean it offensively. I don't think.
Project. There are some great tracks here, but a lot of duds, a lot of mild cuts too. Too many moments that feel very samey. Still, I think it's better than almost anything Trippy's dropped in the last few years. Feeling a strong 5 to a light 6.
Alright, that's where you're fucking wrong, Chief. Yo, this fucking album, dog, is not a strong 5. It's a strong 8.5. Alright? 8.4. Oh, well. 8.4. 8.4. I'll give it an 8.4. Certain things on the album weren't that great. The last... Yeah, there's like 2 or 3 songs, once again. I guess the Posse songs, rather, weren't amazing. Like Captain Crunch and the other song. But this goes a lot harder than a lot of the albums that came out this year. I think this will probably be better than the new Drake album. I'm gonna say it like that. I'd be so surprised at Certified Lover Boy if I thought Certified Lover Boy was better than the new Drake. And yeah, that's my fucking thoughts on the fucking thing, man. That's my fucking thoughts
on this one.
I guess we'll let Anthony Fantano close it out for us.
Transition. Have you given?
Nope. Okay, that's it. That's all I have to record, y'all. All right, let me. Oh, also, open season for anyone that is a nerdcore artist. I'd love to bring you onto the channel just for a brief teeny weeny teensy weensy interview. If that is you, then feel free to shoot us a message either in the comment section or email us. Our email's in our bio on YouTube, and we'll be happy to rock and roll and riff. Yeah. All right, make sure to like and subscribe. And my name is Taj Pinjan of Bars and Joysticks. You can follow the links below. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on it. If you're curious about nerdcore, if you want to hear some extra content regarding nerdcore hip hop, then I'd be more than happy to show you the way. To the best of my knowledge, I'm not the best guide of it, but I'll be more than happy to show you the way. Just let us know, and we'll be more than happy to rock and roll. I already said rock and roll with. We'll be happy to rap and tap and slap. All right.